Right now at 10, people in Columbus are warning of a serial scammer targeting customers at gas stations. And a strong warning from Dane County health officials advising residents to stop vaping immediately. Plus, celebrating the start of the 100th season of the NFL with the oldest rivalry in the game.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
Thank you for joining us tonight. A man asking strangers for money has been spotted at gas stations and parking lots across the state. Now witnesses are taking to Facebook to warn others of his scam. Gabriella Becerra shares the common story that witnesses are telling. Gabriella?
This Facebook post has been shared by over 4,000 people, and the comments relay similar experiences. This man approaching strangers and asking for money to get home. According to the comments, he has been spotted here in Madison and as far away as La Crosse. A Facebook user is warning people in the Madison area to be aware of a man using a story to scam people out of money in gas stations. This is a story that sounded familiar to Phil Gooding.
He came up and gave me this sob story of him forgetting his wallet in La Crosse, and he had no money and had no way to get up there to get the wallet. I'm like, something doesn't add up. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have any cash on me. I can't help you.
Months later, Gooding saw him again at a different Windsor gas station.
He gave me the same exact story, and I'm like, I've heard that story before, and then I realized the license plate on it, which matched the license plate in the post.
Another commenter said the person stopped her and her husband outside of a Woodman's in Sun Prairie. In a Facebook message, she said, "We thought it was odd that he had approached both of us like that, but now I see that this man seems to be making a career out of scamming the Madison area." Gas stations mentioned in the comments say they were not aware of this man.
You really want to be cautious when you get these, requests. You want to know where the money is going to. Is this a legitimate cause? Always be cautious about this.
The Better Business Bureau says it is important to know before you give.
Typically, if you're approached in a parking lot, chances are it's not a legitimate cause, but you always have to, think with your head before you give, before your heart.
The Dane County Sheriff's Office said they were unaware of any reports about this man, and the Better Business Bureau says Facebook members taking action like this is consumers helping consumers. She also suggests reporting scams like this one to their online scam tracker.
Madison police say the wrong man was initially charged for a hit and run last month that killed a man and injured his wife. The crash happened along East Washington Avenue on August 8th. A 32-year-old Madison man was originally charged. Those charges have now been dropped. But today, Madison police say another person who was in the car was driving, 44-year-old Jason Natcone of Oregon. Natcone faces charges including homicide by intoxicated use of a motor vehicle and hit and run involving death. We are getting a look at the inside of Hurricane Dorian tonight. This video was taken today by Nick Underwood. He's a NOAA hurricane hunter. He posted it online and says the eye of the storm is about 40 miles wide. Tonight, Hurricane Dorian is just off the coast of the Carolinas. The eye ominously close to North Carolina's Outer Banks, where forecasters say it could make landfall overnight. High winds, heavy rain, and tornadoes spawned from the Category 2 storm pummeled communities across the southeast U.S. coast all day long. This is the same storm that battered the Bahamas over the weekend. The death toll there is now at 30. Meteorologist Dana Fulton has a closer look now at Hurricane Dorian and its path.
Of course, landfall could happen tonight, but even if it doesn't, the exact path not really a concern when storm surge and rain and wind still coming through as the storm is offshore. Right now, a Category 2 hurricane, and right next to the Carolina coastline. It's going to continue to travel northwest. There is the potential for landfall early Friday morning. The storm is continuing to weaken as the terrain from the coast is tearing up the storm just a little bit. We'll continue to keep an eye on it to see if landfall does happen overnight, with that track pulling further northeast. Shower chances around Sheboygan right now with a mostly cloudy sky. There's going to be a slight chance for a few showers passing over overnight. Not expecting much rain, though. In fact, most of the area will stay dry heading into Friday. 68 currently in Madison, about 70 in Bosqueville and Prairie du Chien. Compared to this time yesterday, it is quite a jump in our temperatures, a 16-degree jump for Bosqueville and our dew points a little higher also. This is as that shower chance starts to creep on in. By tomorrow afternoon and evening, though, it will be quite pleasant outside. Saturday also very pleasant, but by Sunday a little cooler into the weekend. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead with your forecast in just a few minutes.
A not guilty plea has been entered on behalf of the man charged in Madison's first homicide of 2019. 58-year-old Lou Jefferson stood mute today in court. The Chicago native faces first-degree intentional homicide charges for stabbing 30-year-old Amanda Woods in the Darbo neighborhood. According to a criminal complaint, Woods left a party to buy cigarettes at a gas station. That's where the two got into an argument over drugs. And in Fitchburg, there have been no developments in the murder investigation that happened a couple of days later. 17-year-old Shay Watson, a Verona High School student, was shot to death on Lyman Lane. Police said at that time it was not a random act, but have released no further details on that case. Dane County public health officials warn if you vape, you should immediately stop. Amy Reed spoke with the agency today about this warning, and she joins us now to explain why they are doing this now. Amy?
Yeah, we've seen the news on this develop over the last few months, case after case of people using vape pens or e-cigarettes and getting sick or even dying. Now some health experts think they found a common thread, but until it's certain, Dane County wants you to quit.
Now you're really seeing more of these USB type devices. They're discreet, they're easy to hide, and they're hip.
Nina Gregerson has seen vaping evolve over the last few years, from devices that mimic cigarettes to ones you might not even realize are for vaping unless you saw someone using it. In her role with Public Health Madison and Dane County, she's also seen a growing concern over what's inside these things, which is why today the agency said people who vape need to stop immediately, especially if your brain is still developing.
These drugs do alter a developing brain and can prohibit proper brain development in young people and can make them more susceptible to addictions in the future.
In Wisconsin, there have been 34 confirmed cases of hospitalization from severe lung disease or damage tied to vaping. Nationwide, more than 200 cases are being investigated. New research out today shows the same chemical linked among these cases, vitamin E oil. Landon Meskey, the general manager of Knuckleheads, has another theory.
I think they do need to stop vaping. They need to stop vaping black market THC cartridges. That is the stem of this problem.
He's seen this method, THC cartridges, getting more common in recent years in correlation with this uptick in lung disease. People getting THC cartridges from unknown sources could be inhaling anything, and he said that should be looked at more than just vaping.
I'm not saying that I think vaping is healthy or not. Like, obviously, you're putting something into your body, into your lungs. It's not going to be good for you. I just think there needs to be long-term studies done with this.
But for Gregerson, it doesn't matter whether it seemed safe for years. Right now, she says it's not.
It's important to stop using these products until we know exactly what's going on.
Most cases of this new uptick in lung disease in Wisconsin have been tied to vaping THC, but Gregerson said we need to be careful no matter whether it's that or nicotine. She said both can be harmful, especially if you're a teenager.
Milwaukee police say a 10-year-old girl crossing the street was hit by a school bus this morning. The accident happened around 8:30. Police say the girl was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A spokesman for Milwaukee Public Schools says no students on the bus were hurt, and police are still investigating. The Stevens Point Police Department is hoping to start training a new K-9 in November after K-9 officer Luna died yesterday after eating a poisonous mushroom. Today, first responders paid their respects to Luna with a special ceremony. The department posted a GoFundMe page to raise funds to pay for Luna's medical cost. Whatever remains will help fund another K-9 for the department. Michigan State University has to pay $4.5 million following the Larry Nassar scandal. The Department of Education says MSU did not properly disclose and collect campus crime stats or issue warnings to the campus or authorities. Along with the fine, MSU is under a 5-year review period. Nassar, a former USA Gymnastics and Michigan State doctor, will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. Last year, he was convicted on criminal sexual misconduct and child pornography charges. Tonight, we are hearing from the Wisconsin National Guard, a day after the Trump administration announced an $8 million project at Truax Field is among one of more than 120 military projects being put on hold to help fund a border wall. A small arms range was set to be built at Truax next year.
The proposed range would have provided some increased training opportunities and some efficiencies for us. But as of right now, that funding is deferred, and we're hopeful that that funding will be available in the future for us.
Captain Travato says it does not believe a delay in funding for the project would impact the Guard's readiness. Other military projects in 23 states and even overseas are also being put on hold to help fund the border wall. The 100th season of the National Football League is officially underway, and what better way to start it off than with the league's oldest rivalry. The Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears still playing at Soldier Field right now. So far, it has been a defensive battle. It's in the fourth quarter, and the Packers are up by 7. We will have more on the game coming up in sports. The Madison Public Market Board is considering the community's input on design options for the forthcoming Madison Public Market. Tonight, the board answered the community's questions on design plans, which were presented to them by MSR Design. The market will host permanent vendors who offer locally made food and art, and it will offer event spaces for community and private gatherings. Officials describe the market's interior design as industrial retro.
The idea is that if you have a wedding reception, you can have it in that area. If you have a food cart night, we have large ceilings and overhead garage doors that trucks can just drive right in and populate that area and kind of make it like an indoor feel.
People can expect bike and pedestrian access to the market at its 200 North 1st Street location in the city's soon-to-be empty Fleet Services building. Officials say the market will invoke a welcoming environment and include amenities like gender-neutral bathrooms. The market is set to open in the fall of 2021. Still ahead tonight, your forecast for the final day of the work week and into the weekend. But first, why some Wisconsin lawmakers want to require elementary schools to teach cursive as part of the curriculum. Stay with us. There's a new push at the state capitol to require children to learn to write in cursive. A new bipartisan bill would require Wisconsin elementary schools to add cursive writing to their curriculums if they don't have it already, with the objective of students being able to write legibly by the end of the 5th grade. Supporters say cursive can improve learning outcomes for children with dyslexia and other learning disabilities, and it's faster and uses different parts of the brain, improving hand-eye coordination.
It's a basic skill that schools have always taught, and I see it as still being important, and it's, I think, an unfortunate thing that schools have turned away from it.
The proposal is still in its early stages. The Wisconsin Association of School Boards says it will likely oppose the bill when it's introduced, saying curriculum decisions should be left up to schools, not the state legislature. Another new piece of legislation at the state capitol could speed up the process of identifying the remains of Wisconsin soldiers who died while serving overseas. Currently, the U.S. Department of Defense does the work of identifying fallen soldiers, but Republican Senator Roger Roth of Appleton says that process is slow. He says there are currently 1,500 unaccounted for Wisconsin soldiers who are missing in action. Roth is hoping to increase funding for UW-Madison's Missing in Action Recovery and Identification Project to reduce that number. Wisconsin Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald is considering a run for Congress. He issued a statement today saying he is considering running for the 5th Congressional District that covers Milwaukee's northern and western suburbs and extends into rural Jefferson County. Yesterday, longtime Republican U.S. Representative Jim Sensenbrenner announced he will not run for his 22nd term in that seat. Former Senator Leah Vukmir said she is also considering a run for that position. Meteorologist Dana Fulton joins us now with a look at our forecast.
So there's a slight chance for a few isolated showers popping through this evening, but we got to enjoy most of the day with some really nice temperatures and a lot of sunshine. In fact, this morning, that patchy fog that we had early in the day made for a really beautiful sunrise coming on through, right through the trees. A few times when I was driving into the gym, actually seeing that patchy fog right all over the hills. It just looked gorgeous outside. And then, of course, we had the sunshine this afternoon, a few clouds building in this evening, and now we have a mostly cloudy sky with a few isolated shower chances, though most of the rain is really staying off to the east. Not ruling out the chance for a few isolated showers to pop up heading into tomorrow morning. But overall, most of us should stay pretty dry. Temperatures right now are in the upper 60s. Our dew points in the upper 50s. With a calm breeze coming from the south, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour heading overnight. As this system passes overhead, most of the rain is staying to the north. The thunderstorm chances certainly staying well to the north, but a few are going to pass further south. The system clears out by Friday afternoon. That gives us a clearing sky and sunshine later in the day, and we get to continue to enjoy that sunshine for most of Saturday. We won't have any more rain chances until late Saturday and into Sunday. So overnight, again, most of the rain staying to the north, a few clouds early in the morning, but by Friday afternoon, we start to clear on up, and then we see a partly sunny sky. For Saturday, plan on a partly sunny sky. Cloud coverage builds in the evening. The rain chance starts to develop overnight, and that'll stay with us into Sunday. A slight chance for some showers overnight, and then a chance for showers on Sunday. Most of the rain, again, staying to the south, and now ruling out the chance for a few of those showers, especially in the evening, to cross into southern Wisconsin, just hopping over the border real quick. Temperatures will fall into the 50s for overnight lows. With the mostly cloudy sky, we won't drop nearly as much. We were in the upper 40s early this morning. By Friday afternoon, with all that sunshine, we'll climb up into the 70s. Notice our breeze shifts directions behind that system from the northwest for tomorrow afternoon. And by Saturday, we get to enjoy the sunshine yet again. Temps will be in the 50s early in the day, and then in the afternoon back to the 70s before the cloud coverage really builds in overnight. And we have that rain chance coming in by Sunday. We'll be close to about 59 for our overnight lows, so not a big drop into the 50s, but a little bit. That slight chance for some showers with a mostly cloudy sky. Friday afternoon, we will yet again be in the low 70s, so another day that should be pretty pleasant in the afternoon and evening, wrapping up the work week and heading into the weekend. As far as the weekend is concerned, temperatures on Saturday below average, but nice with the sunshine. Sunday is going to be a little cooler just because of the cloud coverage. We don't get the sun. We won't warm up quite as much. A chance for showers on Sunday. Most of the thunderstorm chance, thankfully, is going to hold off for us. Now, by Monday, we get the sun back. But next week, it does seem like we're going to have a few rounds of rain slide on through. Instead of some nice dry spells, we'll have some showers popping up almost every other day. Temperature-wise, will be a little up and down also. A very fall-like forecast where we get some days with showers and some days closer to 80. Then we cool right back down again. But notice those overnight lows they're also starting to drop off quite a bit.
Okay, so the positive here, right? Good sleeping weather.
Great sleeping weather. Windows open.
Okay.
Yes, that's the silver lining.
I have a friend who thinks, oh, there's going to be another heat wave coming. You just wait.
They're holding on to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Summer isn't over yet. Summer isn't over yet. So there's the chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a betting woman, but there's a chance.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just take what we get and like it, right? That's what Mom would always say.
Just find the good in it. Find what that silver lining is.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes. Well, it's a huge weekend for the Brewers against the Cubs. The story from Miller Park in sports.
Hey, we really appreciate you watching us and not the Packers right now. Opening night for the 100th season of the National Football League is the Packers and Bears at Soldier Field. It's been a defensive struggle. Late fourth quarter, a little under 2 minutes left. Packers lead 10-3. The only touchdown of the game, Aaron Rodgers to Jimmy Graham. Packers play again in 10 days when they host the Minnesota Vikings in the home opener at Lambeau Field a week from Sunday. A lot of fantasy football owners aren't happy tonight, especially if they drafted Antonio Brown. Brown got into a shouting match with Raiders general manager Mike Mayock at practice yesterday. It looks like the Raiders might suspend Brown, which could eventually void $30 million the Raiders currently owe Brown in guaranteed money. Could be the last stand for the Brewers' playoff hopes this weekend. A 4-game series with the Cubs begins at Miller Park tonight. Craig Counsell knows his team is running out of time. Only 23 games left after tonight. Bit of hope for the Brewers in the second. Hernan Perez gets a hanging curve from Jose Quintana, puts it over the wall and right. 2-run homer, 2-1 Brewers lead. But the Cubs' Kyle Schwarber has been killing the Brewers all season. Tonight, no exception. That's a grand slam off Drew Pomeranz in the sixth. That has the Cubs in front, and it's a final now. Cubs 10, Brewers 5, so the Cubs are 5 games up on the Brewers in the wild card race. The Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week takes us to Oregon, where the Panthers host Stoughton. We'll be live on channel3000.com tomorrow night at 7. We'll also have 2 other games streaming on channel3000.com tomorrow. We'll have Monroe at Monona Grove and Baraboo at Sauk Prairie live, channel3000.com, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Badger Volleyball has its home opener tonight, facing 16th ranked Marquette at the UW Fieldhouse. Badgers have a star-studded lineup. The brightest stars are Dana Redke and Sydney Hilly. Redke nearly gets the kill here, but Hilly is there to follow up to get the point. You know, Marquette's coach, Ryan Tice, grew up on Mineral Point Road here, and his team pulls off a huge win. The Golden Eagles beat Wisconsin for the first time ever. They win it in 5 sets. Tomorrow, the Badgers host 20th ranked Baylor. Badger women's soccer team tied Loyola in Chicago tonight, 1-1. The most famous Badger women's soccer player, of course, is Rose Lavelle, who helped the United States women's national team to another World Cup win in France in June. Lavelle played 4 years at Wisconsin, and Coach Paula Wilkins says Lavelle is still very much linked to the Badgers.
Nice that the media keeps saying Wisconsin, right? So they know where she came from. But, you know, we have recruits calling us and talking to us saying, I want to be the next Rose Lavelle. And I hope they see that the development that she had here really helped her to get to that next level. You get to sit and watch the World Cup game and see a player that you worked with for 4 years be defined as one of the best players in the world.
World Cup basketball in China today. New Zealand does its traditional haka dance before the game. What does Greece's Giannis Antetokounmpo think about that? Well, not much. In the game, Giannis dominates. He goes one end or the other. Watch this. He'll take it, he'll spin it, and he'll dunk it. Giannis has 24 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Greece beats New Zealand 103-97. We'll be right back.
He did it of all that frustration that he's felt over this week, and he has a very different look on his face.
Packers fans are happy.
It's over, 10-3. Matt LaFleur is the greatest coach in the history of the National Football League. He's 1-0.
You heard it here.
And they have 5 of the next 6 at home, too, so look out. Super Bowl. Pump the brakes.
He's already excited.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking a little hyperboles there. But we do have some shower chances coming through tonight. Not to rain on the parade, of course, so continue to celebrate. For your Friday, thankfully, the rain chances are only early in the morning. It is just a slight chance. Temps will be in the low 70s in the afternoon with a partly sunny skies. Saturday, also partly sunny in the low 70s. A chance for some showers at night, and that'll stay with us into Sunday. A few more rain chances heading into next week, but temperature-wise, stay pretty comfortable through the 10-day stretch.
All right, thank you. That's going to do it for us. Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.